I'm just catching the tail end of this live stream, sort of. It's not quite finished yet. I'm not going to listen to all of it. Both of these two at the top are provisionist. Obviously, John at the bottom there is Calvinist. Blabbering here.
Yeah, but we're not arguing about God as creator. No, John, we're talking about sin. We're not talking about light. We're talking about sin. Where did sin come from?
Where did sin come from? That came from us.
But God determined it.
But God determined it, yes.
Right. So it ultimately came from God.
Well, we would say that it was determined by God, but we wouldn't say that God is morally blameworthy for it.
Yes. Yes. So God determines it, but he's not responsible. He's the ultimate cause. He's the primary cause, but not responsible.
Right. So I'm not sure.
Yeah. Even though that's the definition of responsibility. Look up the definition of responsibility and find me a definition that lets God off the hook in your view.
Well, let me ask you this. If a child flips a switch, a light switch, and that light switch happens to cause a person in the street to get electrocuted, did the child have moral responsibility?
No, a child doesn't have moral responsibility because a child isn't God.
Even if it was me, if I did it and I had no knowledge that that's what was going to happen. Well,
you're not God either.
I'm not saying I'm God.
But you're not determining everything.
Yeah, I would say it might be a little bit extreme that the Calvinist literally thinks that everything they do is determined by God. And by implication, it seems that the Calvinist may as well be a Mormon without the holy underpants. Like little G gods.
I'm talking about God determining everything. God knows everything, and God determines everything, and has all power.
Can you guys let me speak, please?
Hang on. I'm trying to ask a question here. You're asking me a question, and I'm trying to answer the question, and I'm telling you why your question doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to answer your question.
I don't think you understood the question. My question was, I'm not trying to be rude to you, I promise. But my point is, with respect to that issue, I was trying to show how someone causing something to happen doesn't necessarily entail more responsibility. That's a case where something was determined to happen by someone else, and that person isn't held morally responsible. You agreed with me.
No, I did not. You've flipped the order here. So you've made the secondary cause the primary cause. You've flipped the secondary and primary cause.
There's no secondary causality on exhaustive determinism. It's incoherent. There cannot be any secondary causes. God is a primary cause on Calvinism. Exhaustive divine determinism, meticulous causality.
Shut up and let me talk, because you hate it when I talk while you're talking. So try and listen. No, John, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you fucking be a hypocrite. I'm trying to talk and explain.
I didn't want to talk to Graham,
this is what happens every time with John. John's always right. Only John is allowed to talk, and if anybody says anything, you don't understand me. I'm always right.
Yeah. Yeah,
you flipped the secondary and primary causes there, John.
Yeah, they'll play about with that. It's an escape route. It's an escape mechanism, Graham. Obviously, Graham knows that.
The child flipping the switch is not a primary cause because they didn't create the switch. They didn't cause that switch to electrocute people. How did that switch electrocute people? The child didn't do that. That switch has the ability to electrocute people. So the child is a secondary cause. What's the primary cause? But don't let me talk, John. No, you're a coward. You're an arrogant coward.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
And thank you for proving it once again. You tell me not to talk while you're talking, but while I'm talking, it's okay for you to talk. You're such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And you wonder why I get angry with you.
Yeah.
And all of those other people that are exactly like you. You're all jumped up, arrogant, self-centered, demonic
Yeah.
liars. The
Yeah.
conditionalists.
It's what Calvinism does to the Calvinist. It makes them incoherent, hypocritical, fallacious, and I was thinking of another word there. You're never going to understand, as far as the Calvinist is concerned, Graham.
The fake graces, the extreme ones at least. You
In
Calvinists.
fact, the laws of logic are sort of cancelled out on Calvinism. Calvinism itself destroys epistemology. Graham probably knows that, I don't know. Check out Dr. Tim Stratton on it.
The work salvationists. Oh, this is precisely why I didn't want to talk with you, because you won't let me dominate the conversation. I can't treat you. You won't let me treat you with disrespect and be a hypocrite. Yeah. Lutherans as well. Lutherans as well, Richard, because you have the same inability to answer questions.
The problem with John's analogy is you're right, because if that was God that made the light switch, number one, he knows what's going to happen with the light switch. Number two, in your worldview, he's determining what's going to happen with the light switch.
Yeah,
so, yes,
here we go. Here we go with John saying that I'm not the good faith interlocutor. No, John, that's you. That's you. You're a hypocrite.
Well, it's projecting, because he wasn't letting you finish your statement either. So
Kevin puts up with more than I do. I don't let you dominate me. Kevin's nicer than I am, and you abuse that.
Yeah.
You're a psychopath. You're a narcissist.
I wonder if Calvinism just caused that as well. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be. Yeah, Kevin is a bit. Yeah, Graham's got some rough edges, so what, you know. I'm not surprised that he's getting angry, frustrated with talking to somebody who really, John, sharpening iron, a mess. Literally, I do believe that Calvinism causes some form of insanity. It is beyond ridiculous. Once you understand what Calvinism does, the entailments of certain of their so-called doctrines, tulip, you realise how stupid it actually is.
Sadistic cretin.
Yeah.
You're a disgusting human being.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah,
and I'm sick of proving it, and you just ignore it. You and all your ilk, you're all the same.
Yeah,
you're all double-minded hypocrites that treat people.
They're all the same because they follow tulip. That is their confirmation bias.
The way that you demand not to be treated.
Yeah.
And John goes, oh, wow, were you all listening to this? How dare he be so nasty to me after you did it to me, John, and you're still ignoring it. You demanded I shut up while you asked the question, so I did. And then I'm trying to talk and you did it to me. No, you didn't. No, you didn't listen. You're not listening at all, John. You have zero ability to listen. All I hear is slander. No, it's not slander. You treated me. You kept talking while I was talking. I didn't say you said to shut up. You kept talking while I was talking after demanding that I not do that to you. And I pointed and see, run away like a little coward. You're such a coward.
Yeah, well, Graham, once they realise that you're onto them, and they they can't believe that you comprehend Calvinism, right? You're never going to understand. They do, of course. Yeah. Circular reasoning, every fallacy you can think of, that's Calvinism. Yeah.
It is impossible to have good faith conversations with Calvinists. Absolutely impossible, because
Yeah.
the only
They've got no epistemology, Graham. They cannot make well, I wouldn't say sincere. They've got no means of making a truth claim on exhaustive divine determinism. In other words, no epistemology.
way you will allow it to happen is if you dominate the conversation. Now,
I will make one other point, because John Sharpening Iron podcast did make, this was well over a month ago, and I remember it clearly. I might have recorded it. I did make mention of it in a video, one of my recordings. Sharpening Iron will, he mentioned to Kevin, oh, you don't understand debate dialectics. And yeah, I Googled it. I've got no shame in that. I Googled it. Debate dialectics. I hadn't heard that one before, so I had a little bit of a look round. And the debate dialectics, when you read it, you know, where did I find it? I did obviously look for a half decent website. I don't think I found it on SEP, but it would put things sort of in the Calvinist favour if you followed it. So Josh Myers, Championing Iron, was trying to put Kevin in a tight spot by referring to, oh, you don't understand debate dialectics, right? They'll play games with you all day, and they will never stop. The only thing you can do for a Calvinist is pray for them or pray about them. I personally will never refer to any Calvinist as a brother. I don't believe they're saved. I've already asked John Sharpening Iron here for a testimony. I mentioned it to Dave on his channel the other day. They won't give one. I mean, if you've ever heard Veckel's testimony, it is absolute tosh.
how often did I talk from when John came on the stream? I sat there and I listened 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 while you and he talked, Kevin. And then when I tried to have a conversation with him, he would not let me talk. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about guidance, control.
Graham,
it's about
Graham, he knows you're onto it. Okay, I don't agree with provisionism. I think it's dumb. That's my opinion. It's not a personal attack against you or Kevin. I do think provisionism is stupid. It's a mistake. Don't label yourself. Ever. Don't do it. I don't. I've had years of people trying to label me with something. I reject labels. They think it's almost as though the Calvinist, when they get in someone's studio, they think everybody else who's not a Calvinist is the weakest link. Everything that the Calvinist accuses you of, Graham, that is what they are. They will accuse you of being semi-Pelagian. Calvinism is semi-Pelagian. They will accuse you of being synergist. Calvinism is synergism and monergism. They will accuse you of Molinism. I don't know how far to go with Molinism, but I think there might well be reasons to believe that Calvinism is Molinism, a Jesuit so-called philosophy. You're better off not being in a debate with them because there's no means of. It'll be a waste of time, and then they'll go into their little Calvinist live stream with the other Calvinists and ridicule everything they can think of, and yet they are ridiculous. I'm going to end this recording in a minute.
And as soon as I start trying to answer questions, no, make sure that the conversation can't continue. Oh, if a child flips a switch and electrocutes someone, are you going to blame the child? How is the child a stand-in for God? How is that an analogy for God? Oh, you're not understanding the question. Yeah, because it's a stupid question.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
Yeah. I was watching, what was it now? A live stream with Ryan was in. I'm subscribed to a lot of channels, not because I like everything that they say. Where is it? It's quite a few hours ago. But the other Calvinist was in there. Ryan has become Anglican. I can't be bothered looking. Right, I'll leave it at that then. I'll go back to Praise I Am's crappy toilet joke. I mean, for Praise I Am to title
So
a video,
we are definitely getting two different outcomes. It's not so much a realm of possibility, but it definitely becomes a possibility. You know, it becomes reality rather.
So Toki, do you think that any of this can tie into the nature of God? For example, right? So in the idea of like, let's say,
I can't stomach listening to that idiot. Really, I can't.